This is another live radio link-up brought to you by the Government Communications GCIS. GCIS. GCIS.
The time is gone 11 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock, and it's a very good evening to you. Welcome to it. This is our special broadcast, and it's brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with SEDA. And shortly, we're going to be finding out exactly who SEDA is or what SEDA is. We are very delighted to have our guests in the studio. I'll be telling you all about them shortly. The name is Karabo Lance, and glad to be with you for the next coming hour. We've got a toll-free number that I would like to encourage you to be part of, or to use rather, as we go ahead with this program for tonight. It is our toll-free number 0800 314 446. That's 0800 314 446. And my producer, based in Cape Town, is standing by to be taking your calls as we go through with this program. You're more than welcome to speak in any language of your choice. Right? You're more than welcome to do that. So that toll-free number 0800 142, I beg your pardon, 0800 rather 314 446, 0800 314 446. Thank you so much to all the radio stations based in Gauteng. We really appreciate your taking part in our broadcast for this evening. We've got a studio packed of guests, let me tell you this, and two of them are very excited more than the others, and I'll tell you exactly why they are. It's because they are the guests for this evening. Coming from SEDA, Gindade Colin Lishow, he's the provincial manager from SEDA here in Gauteng. All right, as you know, we've got SEDAs all over the place. We've got SEDA in Limpopo, we've got in the Western Cape, we've got in, whatever province that you can imagine, we've got SEDA based there. But Colin is coming from Gauteng, and it's a very good evening to you, Colin. Thank you so much for coming through.
Good evening, Karabo, and good evening to all of the listeners.
All right, there you can hear Colin is a radio man. He's got the voice for it, man. All right. And of course, joining Colin on the other side, it's Lucy Mbizi, and she's the director at Mr. Platter's Catering. And Lucy's got nice platters that she's bought for us this evening. And guess who's going to gobble all of it up? It's not me. I know you thought it was me. It's not. Good evening to you, Lucy.
Good evening, Karabo, and good evening, listeners.
Okay, thank you so much for making time, guys, to come through this evening for our phone-in program. Let's talk about SEDA. A lot of people don't know about SEDA. Let's bring them up to speed to who SEDA is. And I know we're going to have interaction this evening because a lot of people are excited in terms of businesses and small enterprises and so forth. Colin, tell us a little bit more about who SEDA is.
So, Karabo, the SEDA is the Small Enterprise Development Agency. It's an agency of the Department of Small Business Development and Cooperatives. SEDA was established in 2004 through an Act of Parliament, and SEDA was then mandated to basically design and implement business support programs for entrepreneurs in the country. We're looking at promoting our service delivery network that increases contribution of small enterprises to the economy. So when we speak about small business or entrepreneurship, we definitely look at how they could potentially contribute to the economy, and we're also looking at strengthening the capacity of service providers or small enterprises. So SEDA is really looking at how do we develop entrepreneurs throughout the country.
Now tell me something, Colin, a lot of people might not know in terms of the contribution that small businesses have in the GDP of the country. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So if you look at it, a couple of years ago, I think it was in 2014-15, that the Statistician General actually for the first time acknowledged the contribution that entrepreneurs or small businesses have towards GDP. I think when you look at the contribution of small businesses to GDP, we're sitting at about just over 50%. I think 56% currently. And I think when we definitely going to look at looking ahead into the future, that small businesses could definitely contribute much more to GDP. I think also when we look at it, and the National Development Plan 2030 also speaks about it, that jobs are not going to really be created through big business, but it's going to happen within these small businesses. And therefore, we are confident that small businesses and entrepreneurs will be contributing much more to GDP in the future.
I'm just going to pick a number really, and the number is 10. Or maybe let me just reduce it to 5. And I'll say 5 because we're heading towards the last administration of this administration, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to be voting come May. So over the past 5 years, how has the landscape been as far as people taking up opportunities when it comes to developing their own businesses?
In fact, when you look at it, so SEDA has got a program which focuses on entrepreneurship in schools as well. So over the past 5 years, what we have done is we started looking at how do we prepare children that's in high school, also so that they can not only look at, going to university, after university, then go into formal jobs, but how do we prepare them to go into, entrepreneurship and small businesses? I think also what we've done is that we've seen how small businesses have contributed to households in this country. If you look at rural development, township economy, that there's such a lot of businesses that has sprung up and has come about within the townships. And that is something that we're saying from a SEDA perspective, that is what we would like to see, because ultimately those are where these jobs are going to be created, and this is going to be where sustainable jobs are going to be at for this country. I think from a SEDA perspective, what we are saying is that we would like to see more people going into entrepreneurship. We don't really want to only look at the person that wants to run a tuck shop. We also want to look at, the person that wants to do manufacturing, the person that would like to go into services, and ultimately then looking at all sectors of the economy, making sure that they contribute meaningfully. I think when we think about emancipation of our people, it's going to come through, entrepreneurship and what we do within that space.
0800 314 446, 0800 314 446. Perhaps you're sitting there and you're one of the people that are thinking about opening up your own business. You want to develop an agency or an enterprise, rather. Well, we've got an agency in the studio that can help you do exactly that. And they call themselves a SEDA, Small Enterprise Development Agency. They're here to say, South Africa, we're here. We want to help you. Let's transform the landscape of South Africa as far as income is concerned and business is concerned. We would like to see more enterprises being established. So perhaps you're one of those people that are saying, hey, listen, I'll be honest with you, I want to start my own business, but I don't know how. I don't know where to get the support. What is it that I must do? Well, the guys are here to help you out. So give us a call on that toll-free number. It's 0800 314 446. You don't have to worry about language. Mafuna ukukhuluma isiZulu singakhuluma isiZulu thatha iXhosa ndiyathetha kaloku 0800 314 446 0800 314 446. My producer all the way back in Cape Town is standing by to be taking some of your calls, so we'd really appreciate to hear from you. So give us a call on that number. All right, so what do you think could be the challenges when it comes to South African enterprises that are just starting up? What are a lot of people saying with regards to that?
I think, Karabo, especially when we look at startup, enterprises, I don't think there's really enough assistance for them within the ecosystem. I think when we look at the entrepreneurial ecosystem and what it really, provides for these people, it is not as much as for businesses that, is already existing and they're doing well. I think one of the things that we are saying as an organization as well is that we are looking at businesses from the time when they start. So for instance, we've got 4 specific groupings that we work with. When you come into SEDA, the first thing that we would like to do is to talk to you. So we call that our SEDA Business Talk, where we have the conversation on what is the type of business that you would like to establish? How do we make sure that you establish that business? What is it that we as SEDA can do to make sure that that business then becomes sustainable and successful at the end of the day? And then from there, we want to take you from that startup business, and we want to then do the SEDA business start, where we start working with you. You're now a startup. Then we want to now build your business after that. So we don't want to leave you as a startup. We actually want to then build your business and make sure that, because we've got so many different, aspects to our business, where after you've started your business, now that we're building your business, there's other things that you could potentially qualify for within, SEDA. And we want to make sure that we assist you then to grow the business. And ultimately, you can apply for funding through some of our sister agencies, through the DTI, through our own department, the Department of Small Business Development, because we would like to see South African businesses flourish. So I would say, from an ecosystem perspective, we need to do more for, startups. But from a SEDA perspective, we are saying that we want to walk this, journey with you. And we want to make sure that at the end of the day, you become a business that is successful.
0800 314 446. It's a toll free if you're calling from a landline. If you're calling from a cell phone, Mfundo will take your details down and he will call you back, and in that way saving you costs. You don't have to pay a single cent though if you're calling from a landline. I'll be happy to hear from you. If you are if you've just started a small business and perhaps there's one or two things that you're struggling about and you don't know your way out, perhaps we could give you an assistance this evening. How about that? So call us in. We'd like to hear from you. 0800 314 446. Now, you're mentioning, Colin, that there are other benefits, which was something that made, I'll be honest with you, my ears stuck up when you said that. I was like, oh, more benefits. Okay, here we go. All right, tell us more about those.
Certainly. So as SEDA, just to put it into context, we've got 52 branches throughout the country. In the 9 provinces. So through our branch network, we do quite a number of interventions, and those interventions would, include things like marketing material. We will do business plan development,
wow,
and so many other things that entrepreneurs really need within the business. From there, if you look at the 72 incubators that we also have, so we've got 72 incubators throughout the country, different sectors of the economy, and within those incubators, obviously, people would come in for 36 months. They would be in that incubator, we would make sure that they get the assistance that they need. And after the 36 months, they then have to go on their own. Now, one of the programs, and it's a key program for us within the organization, is our Technology Transfer Fund. And that would be most probably one of the only incentives that we would have in terms of monetary value, where you could qualify for up to 600,000 Rand. Now, we won't give you the money because we know what happens when people get money.
Tell me about it.
But we will definitely make sure that we buy equipment should you qualify for it and you have been approved for it. But then also, Karabo, through the Department of Small Business Development, we've got, different programs. We've got our cooperatives incentive scheme for, cooperatives that's registered and also have qualified for that. We've got, through SEDA, the informal micro enterprise development program, which is really for your, informal businesses, your traders on the street. So there's something for everybody, so that we make sure that we look at, where people are within this journey and within the ecosystem, and that we would be able to assist them as an organization.
Well, if you just joined us, welcome to it. This is our program coming to you live from our studios here in Pretoria and in Cape Town by way of telephone, linking up to Mfundo Makaba doing our technical in Cape Town. My name is Karabo Lance from your Hatfield studios in Pretoria, and I'll be delighted to hear from you. Perhaps you're a small business owner or a small enterprise owner. Would like to hear from you some of the struggles that you have. Maybe you need assistance, maybe you need funds, and you need to know how to access funds, and whatever you want to know with regards to small enterprises. We've got our guests coming from SEDA this evening, and this is Dr. Colin Lishow, I beg your pardon, provincial manager from SEDA here in Gauteng. And he said to me earlier on, listen, now I'm here to make sure for those who want to really build their enterprises and see them grow, I'm here to help them. And he's very excited to be taking your calls. Like, for instance, we've got people calling in. We've got Didi from Cape, beg your pardon, from Soweto. And it's a very good evening to you, Didi.
Hi. Hello, Dr. Colin, how are you?
I'm very well, and yourself, Didi?
I'm so happy that finally there's somebody who can help us at the Braamfontein branch.
That's awesome.
All right.
I have been coming for help, and I was told there is no manager, but I'm so happy that I can get help finally.
Thank you so much for calling in, Didi. What is your question?
Yes, two questions. I have benefited before. I'm into agro processing, so can I get help once more?
Didi, so you are an existing SEDA client at the moment, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what happens is definitely you would be able to, be assisted again. What we do is, as I've explained, earlier on, that we have a client journey approach with everything that we do. Meaning that once we've assisted you, it doesn't mean we're going to leave you. It means that we want to take your hand and we want to make sure that you grow and you become sustainable and, you are able to leave a legacy for the people that's in your life. So I would say, please make contact with us. Absolutely, there was, some time when we had some issue, but we have a very capable branch manager at the moment, Mr. Simon Shia, and he will definitely make sure that you get the assistance that you need and you deserve.
I'm happy. Thank you so much.
Happy,
Thanks,
Didi?
Didi.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy.
You sound very, very happy. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. All right, let's go to Emmanuel. Apparently, Emmanuel is calling all the way from Sebokeng. Emmanuel,
Hello.
God is with us this evening, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Welcome. What is your question?
Yo, sir, here in the radio, in the FM, in the Liqua, you say you are going to to support the people who have in the mind, the business mind, and in the big to make a factory. It's like, you see?
Absolutely. This is who we are. This is what it's all about this evening. Go na le ntho e leng gore on your way, botsisa Emmanuel with regards to your business.
Ke o jwetsa nnete ha nka kgona ho dula le nna ke ntse ke bone di-business kaofela but hona je from 2013 ke sebetsa ka recycling ke na le company nka e bula nna ha ke dutse le nna nka etsa even if batla hore etse project and impele hore lona control a ke na bothata ho na le pleke e na le recycling nka etsa tjhelete haholo from lebotolo from di-ginger le aluminium then ha re ka etsa o create jwale ke shorta fela ka motšhini wa compress or to compress as a ton o kale ka ton o tsebe ntse ngwe wa tsamaya ka ditshane then nna ke na le experience because from 2013 ke sebetsa ke iketsetsa ka bonna o tshwana le bege ena e kgolo a e tletse dibotolo ke ya kgona e kala fatshe e kgona ho tsamaya maybe di le 20 tons to the factory to the company nna ke ikentse ka koloi tsaka ka koloi ya ka ke etsa jwalo
All right, Emmanuel, just go receive na go broaga re fe batho ba bang chance. Basically, your cry this evening ke gore o need-a motšhini wa go thusa gore business how e ke tswele pele with what you're doing. Ke motšhini wa compressor. What type of ba o bitsa motšhini o ene o kry-agala kae?
motšhini o nna ke tsebe gore o na le company e ka kgona gore konsore e re tlhole ona mo Verneging mona ke gore ka etsa quotation ntho engwe le engwe gore ke kgone go tsebe gore as long as lona ne ka kgona go mpha chance gore nna ke kgone go etsa quotation ya ntho tseo ka fela di batlegago then nna ke bile le lona ne kgone go sega-sega dintho tsa lona gore o ba jwang ke ane jetsa bontate nteo e ka etsetsa business e kgolo.
All right, Rautwa, hey Emmanuel, thank you so much. We're definitely hearing you. I'm going to take another caller quickly. I think we've got the gist of what Emmanuel is saying. Emmanuel is actually crying out for some assistance, and we'll definitely try to help him out. Here's Titseho, if I'm not mistaken. I beg your pardon if I'm mentioning Bitola how wrong, from Sasolberg. Kiditseho, I think it's Kiditseho. Ditseho?
No, it's not Ditseho, but it's fine.
Kemambroaga, Untusehle.
Kiditseho.
Diego, right, okay. But Diego, le kaina?
Ke tengo ka pa.
Shapo broaga, putso a wereng.
That's a question I can of guidance. Ke guidance talk. Right.
Putso ya hao gaeng?
Ke for guidance. I have a group of friends, man. We have an idea and we want to push it through. So from the side of SEDA, if we only have an idea and we have nothing else, can we be assisted?
Okay. Are unpack bro. If you're not happy to share your idea on radio, you don't have to. We've got your numbers down on our phone, but if you want to, you can explain to Brakola and here her idea how carrying so that he can have an idea where to go from here.
Okay. Okay, because I'm on my own, I can say it or now because I don't know this growing. But ke tla leka hore ke hlalose nena ba. So
Right.
it's more of production and manufacturing.
Production and manufacturing.
Yes.
All right. Uskabua or production and manufacturing yaing. I get about the idea how. It's good enough that you said production and manufacturing. All right. Brad Yeho, what station are you listening to?
From UTFM.
TUTFM. Okay, go poma mele mu TUTFM and brakole no tla araba potso ya hao. Ne broaga.
Okay.
8 up. All right. The time has gone 29 minutes just before the hour, 7 o'clock. You're coming to you live from our studios here in Pretoria.
This is another live radio link-up brought to you by the Government Communications, GCIS.
0800 314 446. That's 0800 314 446 if you want to chat to us. We're chatting to people who've got businesses here, Brakol. And you've heard some of those callers. Let's start with... let me just see quickly. Okay, I think you've answered DD in agro processing.
Correct.
Do you have a lot of those type of questions? People coming from agro processing. It's something that's really getting big, especially in our black communities. I mean, in the past we never used to have this, but are you having a lot of that developing?
We absolutely do have, Karabo. You see, what happens is that nowadays when you look at agro-processing, you don't really need a large or a huge piece of land to do it on anymore. You've got people that does it now even in their backyards, and it's something that is potentially, sustainable to them. I think the one
and you're able to help those type of people.
Absolutely. We help them. In fact, there's different types of businesses that they could do through agro-processing. It could either be that they go, the cooperative route, or they become just a normal company business, But what we are saying is that even people in agro-processing, we are able to assist.
Right. And here is Emmanuel. Emmanuel is crying out, man. He's saying, listen here, you don't understand. I'll do some serious damage with it. And let me tell you something, and I can create jobs, I can make people, help people and that stuff. My grandfather used to call it machine. Right? Yeah, machinery. Machinery. Okay. So let's talk about those people who want big machinery like the one Emmanuel Batang.
Okay. So before I speak about the machine, I would really just like to speak about, how people would then be able to qualify for that machine that they need. So firstly, I spoke about the TTF, which is the Technology Transfer Fund. But before we get there, you need to be a SEDA client. How do you become a SEDA client? You can walk into any of our branches. As I've already said, we've got 56 branches throughout the country. You can walk into it. We've got a branch in Johannesburg. We've got a branch in Tshwane. And then we've also got a branch in Ekurhuleni in Kempton Park. So you can potentially walk into any of those branches and you would then be able to attend what we call an information session. Now, within the information session, we do what we call information sharing, where we tell you a little bit about SEDA, what SEDA does, what SEDA offers, and then we would then, start having the conversation with you, start talking with you. After that, we would then assign a business advisor to start working with you on your business. And once we've assigned the business advisor would then go through the entire system where the business advisor would start diagnosing what's really happening within the business. Once that has been done, now you are a SEDA client. There's a business advisor, appointed that's working with you. And now the business advisor would then apply for you for this TTF, which we call, Technology Transfer Fund. So Emmanuel could definitely, he could qualify for this machine, but he must become a SEDA client. He wouldn't be able to walk into a SEDA branch and say, so I want to apply for TTF. And it just, ends there.
So where does he start?
He starts within a branch. He goes into a branch. He would then do the information session. He would then be assigned a business advisor. And once he's, working with the business advisor, that's when we will then apply for him for the TTF, which is an incentive. It's a grant. We don't like the term grant because then people think, it's something free. I don't have to work for it. I'm calling it an incentive because we're incentivizing you to make sure that you are able to create jobs within the economy.
Well, it's one thing I've learned about business. It's never free.
Yeah.
All right. It takes something to make something. So, free 2019. Well, maybe the food that's here is for free. Okay. 0800 314 446. That's 0800 314 446. Talking about food that's here, I'm going to tell you all about the food that's here tonight. And it's all courtesy of Lucy Mbizi, and I'll tell you all about her. So stick around. If you're into catering and that type of thing, Lucy is here to share her story and how possible it is for you to build an enterprise like she did. She is, yeah. She's ready, in fact. She's been looking at me with sharp eyes saying, Na utobola lenaning. And oka seble lenna ka di tseya di wings tsaka wa ngutorgere. 0800 314 446. That's 0800 314. I'm taking your calls. Let's take another caller. Do we have another caller? I believe we've got a gentleman from Sharpeville, if I'm not mistaken. Is there a caller from Sharpeville? Good evening to you, sir.
Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good in yourself. I'm going to ask you to speak a little bit louder for me so I can hear you.
All right. So,
who am I speaking to?
We're speaking with Theo from Sharpeville.
Is it Theo?
Yes.
Thank you so much, brother Theo. Welcome to the program. What is your question or comment?
Yep. Basically, I've just started my own business, yeah? And
right.
Now, the thing I want to grow, and I'm in short of funding and all those kind of things. And then when I was going through the internet, and you said that I need to register my business properly and all those kind of things. The business that I started, when I started opening it, I registered via the bank when I was opening the account for the business. So now it's been said that I need to register the business properly and all those kind of things. I just want to get the right procedures in how to do that and how to grow the business and how to get funding for the business to go through.
Thank you so much, brother Theo. We'll definitely answer your question, and I think it's a good one. You need to start somewhere. You need to do things right. And that could be a hurdle for you if you're not doing things right in business, really. You could find yourself taking a couple of steps back. After taking 100 steps forward, you find yourself taking 1,000 steps back because you just didn't do things right. And we'll definitely answer your question. I'd really, really appreciate your call, Brathio. 0800 142 446. 0800, I beg your pardon, 0800 314 446. Hey, my producer's going to fire me. On WhatsApp, he's saying, what are you talking about? That's not the number. You know, I could always hear him. So 0800 314 446. Ararabe Putoyathio very quickly there. All right, so he started a business. He registered via the bank, right? But now because he wants to grow the business, he's been told that you need to register it properly. Let's do this. When he registered with the bank, was it enough? Because when they say you have to register it properly, it sounds like something was not done. What could be the problem there?
You know, it could be one of two things. It could be that he basically just opened a bank account for the business, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the business was registered. I also know that the banks now do registration on behalf of CIPC, which is the Commission on Intellectual Property and Companies. That's where all businesses get registered in South Africa. If Theo didn't register it, with CIPC, even if he went to the bank and he had asked the bank to do that, he would have gotten a document from CIPC, which is his company document. It is a document with a number on, which would be his company number. It would have all of the directors of the business would be listed there. And it would basically say that it is registered with CIPC or the Commission on Intellectual Property and Companies. If not, Theo has got two options. He can go back to the bank, but the bank that's doing this is FNB. So he can walk into an FNB branch and he could potentially do it at an FNB branch. Or he could go into the CIPC walk-in centers. There's a walk-in center in Johannesburg. So it is in the Carlton Center in Johannesburg. He could potentially walk in there, into the CIPC walk-in center and register his business. It is 150 Rand to register the business, meaning that there's a lot of people out there that call themselves consultants, charging people between 1,000 and 5,000 Rand to register the business. But if he does it himself and he goes to CIPC or if he goes into FNB, he's only going to pay 150 Rand.
You see, now I'm the one who's asking now. What are you saying? Are you saying you can register a business with 150 Rand?
That is absolutely correct.
Call, you know how many people are out there sitting with ideas and sitting with businesses, and they're scared to register their businesses because they're thinking of thousands and thousands of rands. So now you've just given us information that all you need is 150 rand to register your business. Okay, if I have 150 rand now in my pocket or in my bank account, whatever, all right, what do I need to take with me, firstly, to the walk-in center that you just spoke about? Or if I choose to go to an F&B branch, what is it that I need to have with me besides the 150? That's sorted. 150 rand in KFC next week. All right, so now I've got it now. So what do I need to have with me?
Okay, so that it doesn't look or sound as if I'm speaking on behalf of CIPC.
No, of course, yeah, but
just
I mean,
for business
yeah.
and making sure people understand.
Of course.
So what you would have to take with you would be, obviously, if you are one director, your ID, and obviously then proof of address. You would walk into the walk-in center or into the bank, and you would have to have 3 names that you would like, to call your business, because what's going to happen is that they're going to ask you to give 3 names, and then it's going to go into a system, because sometimes the name that you have chosen is already taken, and then they need at least another 2 names so that they can, have a name to register the business with. So they're going to ask you to have 3 potential names for the business. You need to take your ID, you need to have your 150 rand, and that's about that.
As easy as that.
As easy as that.
But from the margin, the ID or register the business, Jaren. I mean, life could change from there. All right, let's take a caller quickly. I believe we've got a caller from Sharpeville, and they want to remain anonymous. Anonymous, good evening to you. You calling from Sharpeville?
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself, madam?
I'm okay. My question is, do you assist people that are under debt review or blacklisted? Because these people, when they're unemployed and under debt review, they become doomed for a very long time, if not for life. Do you assist people in such circumstances?
Thank you so much, Anonymous. Really appreciate your call. In fact, that's a big question. It's one of the things that are making people step back and don't want to start their own business because they think, hey, man, I've got to pass this in sharp, or man, they're not going to help me out. But we'll find out. Thank you so much for your call. Anonymous, you call from Sharpeville. Here's Brad George. George, you in Sharpeville as well. Sharpeville representing this evening. Good evening to you, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Brad George.
Brad Zora, not George.
Kimang.
Zora.
Jora.
Yes, sir.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Firstly, I would like to ask SEDA, can they do something like a training for us? Because I think we cannot wake up in the morning and say we must open the manufacturing company or what else and hire people without any skills. So if SEDA can give us a necessary capacity to capacitate us on business ethics, can they do that?
Let's find out. Let's find out, Brajora. Thank you so much for your call. I really appreciate it. That's 0800 314 446. 0800 314 446. Do we have another caller? Good evening to you, caller. Caller going once, going twice. All right, let's move on. Let's answer those 2 questions quickly, Bra Colin. Here's Anonymous saying, look, I might be having a brilliant idea, business, right? Maybe I've got my 150 rand even to register. I got my stuff together. But there's just one thing, man, that's drawing me back. I'm under debt review.
Thank you so much. And I would like to say to the listeners, I really like the questions coming through this evening. The question on do we assist, people under debt review or blacklisted? I think the answer there is absolutely. You see, what we do as SEDA, and it actually also ties into Zora's question, is that SEDA is a non-financial organization. So before we look at all these other things that we do, we need to really, train people and make sure that they understand what business is about. Making sure that when they go out and they look for financing, funding, then they would already have the basics in terms of business and, the skills that we have given them. Yes, we absolutely assist people under debt review or that's blacklisted, because we, as I'm saying, we go and we we try and rehabilitate people. We try and make sure that we get them to a point where they now understand that, you know what, the money that's in the business is not necessarily my money. I need to pay myself a salary and those kind of things. So there's mentors within SEDA. Our business advisors act as mentors as well, because, you know, these are the faces that they will be seeking every day. They will be phoning these business advisors, wanting and asking for advice from them. And therefore, it then becomes imperative that people, have a relationship with a business advisor, because the business advisor becomes then the tool that you can use within the business. And I think when we do give Sis Lucy some time to speak, I think maybe she needs to speak about her relationship with the business advisor and what it means for her. I think the question from Zora in terms of the fact that can we do training, that is absolutely what we do as an organization. So if Zora, if you are in Sharpeville and you feel that we need to come out to Sharpeville and we need to train there, all we ask is that maybe let's do it where we have 20 or 25 people together and we go out and we train them. And we make sure that, we take that training to them and they don't have to come to Johannesburg, because we also understand, the realities of our country and transport, from there to the Joburg branch. I think also what we do then is that, so there's group trainings that we do, but then there's also individual trainings that we do. So yes, we can do the group trainings, but we can also do individual trainings for SMEs.
13 minutes just before 7 o'clock.
This is another live radio link-up brought to you by the Government Communications, GCIS.
We're coming to you from our studios here in Pretoria in Hatfield, and this is a live broadcast. This is brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with SEDA, Small Enterprise Development Agency. Very excited to be having in the studio Dr. Colin Lishow, the provincial manager coming from SEDA here in Gauteng, and sharing with us all the wonderful things that SEDA can do for us. But Colin is not the only person that's here. Somebody that's here as well who is very, very excited to be part of the show. Melusi Mbizi. She's the director at Mr. Platter's Catering. And if you're going to go check out on YouTube, we're going to be posting this video. We're taking a video, by the way. Just let me know. Let me tell you that we're having a video shot as we do this program already, and that's going to be available on our YouTube page. It's Government ZA. That YouTube page again is Government ZA. If you're going to go there, you're going to get a chance to see Dr. Colin. You're also going to get a chance to see Melusi. But one thing that you're going to see is a platter that Lucy has put together. My word. Good evening to you, Lucy, once again.
Good evening, Karabo.
Tell us about your name, the name of your business, and where do you come from? Where did it all start? Tell us more about yourself and your business.
Okay, my name is Lucy Mbisi, and I'm the director and owner of Jesse's Catering Services, trading as Mr. Platter's Catering. We are a catering company that specializes in canteen and coffee shop management, and we also cater for individuals, corporates, weddings, parties, conferences, and meetings as well. And currently we are situated in Midrand in Joburg. And the business started in 2007. And what motivated me into starting the catering business, being a professional chef myself and the passion that I have in catering, that's what made me consider starting the catering business. And the business started in 2007, and it has been operational since then, and we've never looked back.
That's pretty awesome. Now tell me something. You're based in which province again?
In Johannesburg, Gauteng.
In Gauteng, and most of your clients are coming from Gauteng and all over the country.
Yes.
What's the furthest that you've been to? People love food all over the world.
We've been to Qwaqwa. And we were catering for 2,300 people, and it was a function for Pick It Up.
2,300 people you catered for.
Yes, in Kwakwa.
That's a lot of food. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking food. Okay. That's a lot of catering.
Yeah.
All right. But now tell me something. Obviously, it hasn't been, well, I would like to believe it hasn't been a smooth ride.
Yeah.
There were one or two challenges. Please share those challenges with us and let's get inspired and motivated from your challenges and see how we can even overcome ours.
The challenges that I have faced as a small business, it has been working capital and attracting experienced and qualified employees. And as a small business, it's very difficult to match the salaries that corporates are offering. And for me, starting a business is not about the available starting capital. I believe starting capital shouldn't be a hindering factor. You can start with whatever you have and grow it from there.
Okay, now that's very interesting. George, hold on. I'm coming to you now. We've got George from Outreachville who's calling us right now. George, I can see you calling. Hold on. I just want to explore this thing here, capital. That's the biggest hurdle ever. In fact, you're talking about capital. I was talking to my wife last week and I was saying to her, most of the people have got good business ideas. And if you look at their business ideas and their business plans, they're very sound. But there's one problem. It's a problem here, capital. People don't have startup money. Now, when you say capital shouldn't be a problem, how can we overcome that?
Like for me, if I have 100 rands, what is it that I can do with 100 rands to get to the 1,000 that I need? For the business idea that I have. Yes, I'm actually saying starting capital, it shouldn't be a hindering factor. I started from my kitchen and it was a one-man business. And within the first year, I employed 8 people. And at the moment, we employ 49 people.
What? Are you serious? In a year, in a space of a year, that's how much you've achieved?
Yes.
My goodness. Okay. That's Lucy Mbisi, by the way, the director at Mr. Platter's Catering. Lucy, hold on. George is excited to talk to us. Let's find out a bit from George, what he wants to say. George!
Hello, Karavale guy.
Ay, man, kabla Lucy want to step away now a phone, man, to phone na iso, man. Gadala, bro, George. What is your question, sir?
Question aga pila what we bisa ko ntate Colin. Ke batla go bitsa whether maybe like a SEDA ba khona go thusa go na go start maybe like a franchise ba ka khona go assist ka maybe like funding for a franchise. And then second question aga ke batla go bitsa what is the difference between SEDA and SEFA? SEDA and SEFA, is that what they are the same job or not? Is it the same department or not? And then lastly, question aga ke taba horeng can I apply maybe for funding or maybe like assistant from Gobona and then for operation, maybe for example to pay the salaries of the staff. Those are my questions.
Thank you so much, bro. George, you calling from Outreachville. Really appreciate it. George is listening from Paley FM. And Paley, thank you so much for taking our program for this evening. Let us talk to Andy from Randburg. Bro, Andy.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm good. And yourself, sir?
All right, thank you.
Are you surviving the load shedding in Randburg?
Hey, man, ke mathata fela. Mara ntse spanini la.
Let's not go there. Let's focus on the small enterprises here. What is your question or comment?
Okay, so I've started a business. It's on skills recycling.
Are you saying skills recycling? Andy?
Yes.
Is it skills recycling? Andy? Lina Indugaren ala problem yan. Mfundo, let's try to get Andy back again and clear his line quickly. But maybe in the meantime, let's answer George's question. George calling from Outreachville. George says, "Hey, listen, here's a big one, and this one is a lot of people are getting exposed to this type of business. This is called franchising." Maybe for those who don't understand what franchising is, let's start by explaining what a franchise is and then answer George's question on franchising. Go for it, Colin.
Okay, certainly. So a franchise is basically a business that started somewhere, and after growing the business, you now realize that, you know what, there's potential in duplicating this business and making sure that you can take it to other, let's say, provinces or to other venues. It could be in the same province, but you just take it to different locations and you feel like you want to really duplicate this business. That is basically what franchising is about. I think that what we do as SEDA, so SEDA works closely with the Franchise Association of South Africa, or FASA, where we then assist clients that have a business that they now would like to, turn into a franchise, where they want to sell these franchises of the business that they've started. What we do is we take them through the entire process with the Franchise Association of South Africa, obviously SEDA assisting them with, a myriad of services in terms of, the documentation. Sometimes there's, legalities that needs to be sorted out.
Right.
So we would go through all of that. What we also do is, in terms of specifically franchising, is that we make sure that the model is a model that we can duplicate. So if you look at, I'm taking Mzoli's in Cape Town.
Right.
I think it's a business that is a township business and have really the potential to really become a franchise and, go somewhere else. I think we've got plenty of those businesses, not only, in Joburg, could potentially be in the locations in the townships around Gauteng, and those people that would like to start those businesses, there's definitely scope for those businesses that we would like to then assist you with those businesses with the assistance of the Franchise Association. So yes, we definitely assist with that. I think you also wanted to know what the difference is between SEDA and SEFA.
Before we get there,
Okay.
That type of business a lot of people are interested in. So say, for instance, I want to start that. What is it that you would want from me? For you to start the process and say, you know what? All right, we're happy with you. We definitely can help you. We definitely can put you where you want to be. But what is it that I have to bring? Issues starts on anybody business plan, route and all of that stuff. What is it that I have to bring?
For instance, now Jesse's Catering trading as Mr. Platter, and Lucy now wants to take this business and she wants to turn it into a franchise. So what she would do is, obviously there is a whole lot of other things that she needs to do before we can get to the point where this business is franchised. For instance, we need to make sure that from a health perspective, that we do HACCP training. We make sure that from a South African Bureau of Services, a process, how do we make sure that, this specific brand that she's bringing to the table has got the specific, certifications that it needs. So from the quality, from the trainings that she needs, from the different certifications that she needs, before we get to, having this franchise now operating, we will make sure that we assist her with that. We will also make sure that we assist her with the registration of this franchise, because normally there's quite a large amount of legal fees that you need to pay because there's contracts that needs to be drawn up. We need to make sure that that kind of thing the client is also being assisted with. Then we would have the conversations with the Franchise Association of South Africa and find out from them, what, if it is this kind of business, how would we then price it within the market? What are we going to look at? Is she going to take, some royalties from being the franchise owner? And what is those royalties going to look like? Is she going to have to bring in her own equipment so that when the person purchases the franchise, that equipment comes within the purchase price? But those are all of the things that would be sorted out within the legalities. I would say if you've got such an idea, because remember we've said from the beginning, even if you only have an idea, you come to SEDA and we will make sure that that idea is then turned into a business. So I would say if you've got those kind of ideas, please do come and speak to us and we will make sure that we assist.
SEDA, SEFA, the differences?
So SEDA, as I've explained, is the Small Enterprise Development Agency, which is a developmental agency. I said we do non-financial assistance, meaning we don't do loans. We don't do loans at all. We've got some incentives, as I've indicated, and that is the only type of funding that we have. SEFA is the Small Enterprise Finance Agency. So meaning they also would or under the Department of Small Business Development, and they're responsible for financing small businesses. So if you want a specific loan where you want to now, grow your business, or you want to buy, new equipment in the business, except for if you want to go through the TTF fund, let's say you want to buy equipment, you would do it through SEFA. Because SEFA would then go up to 5 million rand, from 50,000 rand to 5 million rand, that you could potentially qualify for. But it's a loan. Remember, you have to pay it back. And the maximum amount of, months that they give you to pay back, I think it's 5 years. Yeah.
All right. At this moment, let me just say it's a very good evening to Mamani Bushiani. And she's listening all the way out in Roodepoort. And she's saying to me, hey, man, I'm listening to the show and it sounds very interesting, especially the franchising part. Now, Mama Ane is involved in these big franchises. I'm not going to mention the names. I'll be giving them mileage. I'm not going to do that. All right. She's listening all the way from Roodepoort. We really appreciate your listening in and really excited to see you being part of the show. Thank you so much for that. I believe Andy's back for some reason. Andy.
Hello.
Load shedding it, bro. What is your question quickly?
Now am I clear?
You're very clear. You're loud and clear. What is your question?
So, we our organization, Abangobi Community Project, is actually trying to answer the question, joblessness. So, what we are doing, is skills recycling. So now we want SEDA to help us, because abantu abadala manje abaningi baresignile or baxoshiwe emsebenzini ama retrenchment. So now we are organizing those men to come and help the young men that are no longer going to school, sebazinikele ejwaleni nakuma drugs. So we are trying to help them with recycle those skills abantu abadala who can't work anymore now. So how can SEDA help us? Because we truly want to help the community in bringing employment.
So what type of help exactly are you looking? Look, we understand you're doing skills recycling, right? But what is it that you want SEDA to do for you?
Yes, at the moment we have somebody who is doing baking, and that baking is done in his house. So now we want to expand that.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. Andy, we'll definitely see how we can help you, right? Keep on listening to the radio.
Thank you, sir. I'll do that.
0800 314 446. We've got about 10 minutes to go. Don't worry about it, Lucy. I'm going to give you more time to talk about you. When I say we got somebody here who's been helped by SEDA, and we're going to talk to you soon. But maybe quickly, let's just answer Andy's question. We're going to jump back to Lucy again. So let's answer that. Andy says skills recycling is a big thing for us. We want help from you guys. How can you help?
Sure. I'm going to answer Andy's question. There's another part to George's question, which was on working capital, which I just would like to answer as well.
Yeah.
So, Andy, in terms of your community project, what happens is that I heard you said someone is doing baking. Obviously, what we would like to see as SEDA is that these entities or these entrepreneurs have their own companies, although they're part of the community project, because ultimately we want to help that business. So I would say what we need to do, the person that's responsible for baking needs to then come through and have a conversation with us so that we can also then determine where they are at in terms of the business that they have. And then from there, we can then, apply some of the things that we have within the organization, such as our diagnostic tools. And then from there, the business advisor would be able to then see what kind of interventions we are able to help the person with.
All right. Lucy, I'm going to ask you to just bring your microphone slightly down. Just push it down. It's fine. All right. Let's speak to somebody who's experienced help SEDA and SEDA's come through for you. Now, Sis Lucy, you told us about some of the challenges that you faced in the past. Yeah. And when people are hearing your story right now, they're thinking, hey, Lucy, sharp. Are there challenges that you're still experiencing at the moment?
Yes, we're still experiencing challenges as a business, and in business you experience challenges every day, really. And for me, the relationship that we have had with SEDA, the relationship has only been 2 years, but the impact and the interventions that we have received from SEDA. They are numerous, and they've really assisted us as a small business. Like you're looking at turnaround solutions that we received in 2017, coaching and mentorship, access to markets through networking, relevant and the much needed trainings as an entrepreneur. And beginning of this year, we also received some equipment because our future plans is to expand the business. We want to diversify and to expand our products. So the equipment that we have received from SEDA, it will really go a long way. And for me, SEDA has been more of a business partner than it is of anything. And we are in this journey together. And our consultant, our business consultant, Mr. Enough, he has really been hands-on. And the advice and counseling goes a long way, just knowing the fact that you are not in this journey alone. And the help that we have received from SEDA has had a huge impact in our business.
You sound like a business person. I mean, the way you really talk about these things, I'm like, this person has been in business for years, man. But now tell me something very quickly. How did you get to know about SEDA?
Okay, we got to know about SEDA through ECIC. We were nominated by ECIC to benefit from their Supply Enterprise Development Initiative. And ECIC, they work very close with SEDA. And we were handed over to SEDA. And SEDA, they came, they did an assessment just to check where we are, the challenges that we are facing, and the interventions that we need. Yeah, and so from 2017, the relationship began.
That's pretty awesome. Would you recommend other SMMEs to utilize the services of SEDA?
Definitely. And for me, those who are yet to start their businesses and they are having this opportunity, getting to know about SEDA, it's actually a privilege. And I wish we had known about SEDA back then when we started, because the trainings that we have received so far, they've really helped us a lot.
This is another live radio link-up brought to you by the Government Communications, GCIS.
All right, we've got about 2 minutes to go, and then we're going to wrap it up. But before we do that, maybe let me take a last caller. Mfundo, let me take the last one quickly, and then we're going to wrap it up. Let's take Zora from Sharpeville. Apparently, Zora is back. But Zora? Yes, sir. You're back again. What is your question?
Yeah, I hear you said you can give us in Sharpeville. So I've already organized some youth-headed families. I educate them about they are matriculant without jobs. So I said it must not learn to find jobs, but they must learn to create wealth. So it is really imperative to us, if the SEDA come to us and train these young fellows, maybe two will be successful.
100%. Thank you so much, Brazora. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to ask Bracolin to be in touch with you. Bracol will give you Zora's number quickly, and then you can be in touch with him and see how you can assist him. It looks like he's ready to go. He's ready to go, really. Your final words, Bracol?
So, from a SEDA perspective, it really warms my heart when I hear our clients speak like that, because then we know that the work that we do is not in vain. I think also what we want to do is that we would really like to, reach a larger community in Gauteng and make sure that a lot more people benefit from the services that SEDA have. So I am also going to just leave some detail for them in terms of how they can get a hold of us.
Go for it.
Our National Information Center number is 0860 103 703. So it's 0860 103 703. Otherwise, you can also email us at info@seda.org.za. info@seda.org.za. And I must just say that it was really, really good just speaking about some of the opportunities and some of the, things that's out there for entrepreneurs.
An hour's too short, eh?
An hour's definitely too short.
Told you so. Told you so. All right. Okay, now we're going to wrap it up, but I want to do it in a big way. Now, here's an opportunity for you, Lucy, to sell your business, man. Go for it. I'm going to give you, normally we do 30-second ads. Let me give you 40 seconds. Go for it.
So much, Karabo. And for me, before I actually do that, I would like to take this opportunity to appreciate SEDA for the job that you are doing in assisting small businesses. And we at Mr. Platters, we make your any occasion a memorable one. If you want to contact us, you can contact us on 011-805-4966 or on our Facebook page, Mr. Platters Catering, and our website is www.mrplatters.co.za.
What type of food do you serve? But for those who don't know, what type of food do you go for?
We specialize in platters and any cuisine that our clients are interested in. Our menus, they are tailor-made to suit our clients' needs.
All right, thank you so much. That's the voice of Lucy Mbizi. She's the director at Jesse's Catering, trading as Mr. Platters Catering. We really appreciate your being here this evening, as well as Colin Lishow, provincial manager coming from SEDA in Gauteng. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, time has gone 11 minutes after. And let me say a big thanks to our colleagues coming from SEDA who've managed to put this program together for us. From myself, Karabo Lanso Stolwana Sabapedil Matebele. Ciao for now.